Hello and welcome back to another episode of Jersey Casting. In this episode, I will demonstrate how to build a primitive slate axe. But first, I would like to give a quick update on this current situation. Due to the recent global health situation, the parks and ponds in my area have closed, so I don't know when I will be able to go fishing again. Until I will be able to fish again, I will be posting these outdoor survival type videos. Stay safe and healthy and follow the directions of your local authorities. Now onto the video. So for the first part of this build, we will focus on the handle of the axe. To do this part, you'll need a decent sized stick, a rock, or a hammer. You will also need a knife and a small saw. The saw is not necessary, but it does make some parts easier. In this video, I'm using a small Swiss Army knife. Start off by shaving the bark off your stick. The next step is to begin making the slit to hold the axe head. Start by aligning your knife in the middle of the stick and use your rock or hammer to drive the knife down the middle of the wood. Be very careful during this part and pay close attention to what you are doing, as it is easy for the knife to slip in this part. Next, use your saw to widen the split in the wood. If you do not have a small saw, you can cut the wood at an angle to cut a wedge out of the wood. Once you've created a basic slit in the wood, it is time to begin figuring out the axe head. In my backyard, I found this piece of slate that was once a part of a pathway. I used a stone to hit parts of it off until they broke. Unfortunately, that part did not get recorded. Surprisingly, this piece of slate had already resembled an axe head and fit the job perfectly. See how your axe head fits in the current slit and adjust the hole accordingly. You can widen it with your saw and knife, or if it needs to be more narrow, you can jam in smaller pieces of wood. I noticed that part of the axe head was bulged in the middle. So slate is very easily filed down. All you need is another rock or a hard surface. And in this, I am using a concrete surface to file down the middle of the rock so it better fits inside the slot that I made for it in the stick. So after doing some filing, I got the axe head sitting about where I'd like it to sit. So next I'm going to start filing the edge of it and start forming an edge. To give this axe an edge, I'm using a concrete surface, in this case some concrete stairs in my backyard, to file down the slate. I'm holding it at an angle with the concrete surface and flipping it back every maybe 30 seconds or so. Slate files down very easily, and this whole process took about 30 minutes. Once I've taken off a good chunk from each side, I'm using another piece of slate to get a finer filing done. For the purposes of making this video, the edge that I've gotten is acceptable. Of course, if you're doing this yourself, go to the sharpness that you desire. Be careful with filing it down too much because slate is brittle when it's very thin. Now that the axe head is completed, it is time to begin part 3, where we will get everything finalized and tie everything together. Now bang your axe head into the slot so that it fits nice and tight in there. After you've gotten your axe head set, you'll need something to tie it in place. I am using an old leather shoelace, but anything will work, such as paracord or string. Follow along as I tie the axe head on.
Meanwhile, across town, in this less than fashionable cubbyhole of the San Francisco Examiner, these editors are programming today's copy of the paper into that same Ohio computer machine. When the telephone connection between these two terminals is made, the newest form of electronic journalism lights up Mr. Howard's.
Imagine, if you will, sitting down to your morning coffee, turning on your home computer to read the day's newspaper. Well,
Finally, the primitive Slate axe is complete. In a future video, I will test out the capabilities of this axe and post any updates or upgrades that I've made to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.